You know, you just make do with what you have and appreciate regardless of how it is. If you stop living in comparison and stop comparing this thing to that thing, then you'll find that, you know, even the smallest things are sufficient.
Now, I agree with a lot of what you say, but I just didn't agree with this as well because you got to think about it. If you don't compare, then you become complacent. You understand? So it's about having a healthy comparison. You compare yourself to yourself. You don't compare yourself to other individuals. That's where it get mis that where excuse me, that's where it gets misconstrued. Understand what I'm saying? If you do not compare who you are now to where you want to be, then you will be complacent. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot do that if you want to upgrade in life. That's just what it is. If I sat there and said, I'm okay with living in the city, I'm okay with living in this apartment, then I would have never started my build. I would have never done that. I had to compare living life off grid and compare that to living life in a city before I ultimately made a decision to move off grid, to live free and to live bill free and stress free. You understand what I'm saying? It's about healthy comparison. You challenging yourself, not challenging yourself or comparing yourself to another motherfucker. That's where it gets confusing.
That's supposed to be just watched anything like that. It's your experience and it's your time. It's your opportunity to sort of see what the world has to offer and sort of instantiate yourself as a character, not necessarily to the whole world, but to yourself.
My question is, how do you do that when you're trying to see what the world has to offer? The world don't have nothing to offer for you, man. You offer things to the world. That's how it go, and you get things in return. You understand what I'm saying? That's how you find yourself. You don't find yourself by seeing what the world has to offer. You understand what I'm saying? You see what you have to offer to the world. That's how you find yourself. That's how you become more confident in yourself. This is how stress levels begin to drop. You don't worry about and think about, oh, what this person has over here or what they have over there. You create your own environment and things start to attract themselves to you. You become a magnet. You understand what I'm saying? You don't magnetize by doing the opposite.
With them, you understand how to sort of formulate it in a way that's better for you. And it's truly about adaptation to your environment. You know, understanding when you do certain things, understanding how much you can impact and how much things can impact
You never want to adapt to the environment that you're in. You want to always create your own environment because if you adapt to the environment you're in, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be a negative source. You're going to become a negative source. That's just what it is. Understand what I'm saying? It's a numbers game. So if your environment speaks volumes of negativity or your environment bleeds nothing but negativity, 9 times out of 10, you're going to become a negative person. You understand? Birds of a feather flock together. If it's one good apple and it's surrounded by 99 bad apples, you're going to become a bad apple. That's just what it is. This is physics. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm getting at is this. You never want to succumb to your surroundings, man. You can create your own environment. Therefore, you become your own person. And that way you don't have to adapt to what somebody else created. It's about what you create at that point. You feel me?
environment. You know, understanding when you do certain things, understanding how much you can impact and how much things can impact you. And once you do that, that's when I feel like it truly comes into fruition when it comes to your goals, your ideas, your manifestations and whatever. Because if you're able to keep a positive outlook on the world in the midst of all the chaos that ensues, then you'll find a way. You know, in the same way that like attracts like, if your foundation is stable and you're positive, then you're gonna find a positive path. If you're on a negative tinge, if you're constantly focused on the negative, then you're only gonna find more negative ways to address your issues. And I find that sort of rabbit hole only puts you in a greater predicament once you get to a point where you can understand your actions better.
Okay, understand this. How many times have you tried to impact a person's life or tried to change your life in a bad environment? And then tell me how well that's worked out for you. 9 times out of 10, it hasn't worked out well because that's an environment that has already been structured and created in order to destroy you and everything around you. So it don't matter how positive you are in a negative environment, eventually you're gonna succumb to the negativity. Understand what I'm saying? If you build a foundation in the midst of chaos, you want to take that shit and move it elsewhere so that you don't become, or that so something else doesn't come along the way to destroy you, because they see the light and they want to they want to throw shade on the fucking light. You understand what I'm saying? You want to be in an environment where you can flourish, and you cannot flourish in an environment that's filled with chaos. How many times did we see rappers or positive people, stay in the same spot? That don't happen. They build their foundation and they move on because they know eventually somebody is out to get them, because they're in a negative environment that has already been created. You need to create your own environment in order for you to achieve success in life. That's just what it is. You cannot stay in, even in the Bible, which I don't agree with, but it do be speaking truth a lot of the times, right? Even Jesus had to flee his own fucking city because nobody respected him. You feel what I'm saying? So he built his foundation and moved on. You cannot sit around and expect your foundation to keep building and keep building and keep building without somebody throwing a rock at your windows. That's just what it is. You cannot do that. You got to build your own environment and get around like-minded people. You understand? Once you leave that environment, you're going to find yourself around people that are more like-minded. You feel me? Let's keep it going.
Once you get to a point where you can understand your actions better, because there are plenty of things in my past that I'm like, oh, I could have done that so much better, but I can't live in that.
You just proved my point. You can't live in there, right? Meaning you cannot stay in that environment. So by you saying, oh yeah, build your foundation and all this extra rhetoric, you understand what I'm saying? You confuse people and make them more complacent in the mind. It's like everything is going to be okay as long as I stay here and build and build and build. No, it's not going to be okay. He just said out his mouth that he couldn't live in that because he would become a rotten apple. Let's keep it going.
But you have to realize life is more than those subtle instantiations of negativity and positivity. Life is everything that you do, regardless of how you view it, how you do it. You're living life, and you just have to decide whether or not you want to live a life that's free, that's happy, that's you.
This movement right here, it showed me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because that showed that you didn't have no confidence in what you was talking about. Now, first of all, you said life is more than just the negativity and positivity. No, the fuck it's not. I want you to understand that. As above, so below. Light and dark. Negative and positive. I told y'all before, you cannot get life without negativity and positivity. We all like cars. You need a negative and a positive to create life. A battery consists of negativity and positivity. Your energy consists of negativity and positivity. Furthermore, you just stated that, pretty much stay in your environment and build yourself up in the midst of chaos. You understand what I'm saying? Be positive. But how can the fuck you do that when your surroundings are already created for you? You in a concrete jungle. You can never be free as long as the environment is created for you, man. You cannot. You in a concrete jungle talking about you want to be free, dog. It's not gonna happen, bro. You can be as positive as you want, but at the same time, you're gonna succumb to negativity, because what does the ground do? It drains energy up out of you. Understand what I'm saying? If you're not putting your feet in the sand, in the dirt, in the clay, then you're not gaining energy. It's just being depleted, dog.
Not to say that you can't achieve certain things, but to say that you have to have a certain amount of presence and patience for life. It's going to give you what you need, but not necessarily what you want. And the time is truly dictated by how open your mind is to its possibility.
So first of all, it depends on what you require out of life. Life gives you what you feel you deserve. You may feel like you need this job, but you don't get it, right? Why is that? Because you feel as if you do not deserve this job. The job does not belong to you. So it doesn't give you what you need. It gives you what you feel as if you deserve. Come on, man. Stop it.